Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be, do looks really matter to women? In other words, do you have to be as good looking as Brad Pitt to get a beautiful woman to be your girlfriend or to date you? Well, I would say looks definitely help. But here's the interesting thing, is that I consider myself a pretty good looking guy. And I remember 10, 15 years ago when I was learning this stuff or in perfecting and mastering this stuff, I realized that depending upon how I showed up, how I felt about myself, how confident I felt in my worthiness to be with this particular woman that I was attracted to, had a huge effect on whether she would perceived me as being confident enough and worthy enough to be with her. Because what I was doing is I was making a lot of mistakes and basically saying things and doing things. It was basically communicating that I was apologetic for who I was and that I wasn't worthy. And when you act that way and you think that way and you talk that way and your body language communicates that, women have absolutely no choice but to reject you. From a biological perspective, think about it this way, is that we're all basically trying to mate with those that have the strongest genes, so our offspring will be strong enough to grow up and then mate themselves and then therefore carry on the genes to a future generation. But instinctively, biologically, when a woman senses weakness in you, she's going to basically instinctively agree with you. If you don't think you're worthy of being with her, and everything you're saying, everything is doing is communicating this to her, then she has to agree with you. When I talk about an alpha male is confident enough and has the attitude that I'm a fucking catch. And any woman that doesn't see himself as, or see him as a catch, he thinks, it's your fucking loss. You know, you're missing out on the best thing that ever would have happened to you. And they really feel that way. They really feel like I'm a catch. It's like, what kind of an idiot doesn't take advantage of this, or a guy like me? That's really the way they think. And from an emotional perspective, women know that why do women like successful guys? And it's not necessarily because of looks, because all you got to do is look at plenty of celebrities and rock stars and successful CEOs that are, you look like they fell out of the ugly tree and hit every branch on the way down. And it's not, I mean, you can ask women, you can ask them what kind of guys are they normally sexually attracted to? What traits do they find most sexually attractive in men? And they'll all tell you, if you ask enough of them, that good looks is actually like third or fourth on their list. And what's usually the number one thing that women like in a man? Confidence. They all say the same thing. Well, what is confidence? What does confidence mean? What does it mean when a man is considered to be confident? Well, confidence is nothing more than doing what you know how to do and doing it really, really well. Repetition's the mother of skill, and so if there's something that you're not good at, like, I'm going to take a professional athlete. There was a time when, say, a professional quarterback didn't know how to throw a football, and they just started throwing it. And over the years and over the decades of playing professionally and playing every day because they had a love and a passion for it, and throwing a football literally thousands and tens of thousands of times, and you do it day in, day out, week after week, month after month, year after year, you can't help but get better at it. And so when a guy is showing himself throwing a football or throwing a football and showing up, he doesn't have to think about it. He doesn't have to bat an eyelash. It's just like becoming successful with women if you're not very successful with women. I mean, I did it. I figured it all out. I learned from other people. I made a hell of a lot of mistakes, which if you've read my book, you read about all the mistakes I've made, and then therefore you can learn from this stuff without having to make the same mistakes. And so what is it about a confident man that a woman loves and is going to be most sexually drawn to or sexually attracted to? Well, think about it this way. Confident guys go after what they want in life. And most often than not, when you start out to start a business or chase a dream, 9 times out of 10 you're not going to have any clue how you're going to do it, how you're going to pull it off, how you're going to accomplish this, or what it's going to look like when you've ultimately achieved it. However, despite your fears and your misgivings, you follow your heart because you got a burning desire, and you pursue what you want in spite of your fears. That is sexy to women, because women know that if a guy is confident enough and strong enough to go after what he wants, even though it may scare the crap out of him, whether it's asking a girl out and risking rejection or it's starting a business, if he has a fearlessness about him, not that he doesn't have any fear, but that he takes action in spite of his fears, that's confidence and that's sexy. And the reason it's most sexy to women, I believe, is because emotionally, women want men that are strong enough to open them up emotionally and penetrate them with their masculine presence, physically, emotionally, spiritually. And so women are going to be most attracted to guys because they figure if the guy is going to pursue what he wants in life, he's got the strength and the sheer will to do that, he's got the presence, he's basically like a walking masculine erection in his life. In other words, he's penetrating the world with his presence just by how he shows up. And in her mind, she feels that if a guy can do this in the real world, then if she's in a relationship with him, that he'll have the strength to figure out what's going on, why she's hurt, why she's upset, break through her barriers, and no matter what kind of resistance or when she tells him that there's nothing wrong, that he'll actually continue to proceed and break through until she opens up and admits or talks about what is wrong or why she's hurting, and he helps her resolve and work through it. He doesn't solve her problem, but he helps her discuss it and work through it emotionally by talking about it so she feels comfortable and feels safe, and so she can open up to receive his love again. Well, if a guy is not pursuing his dreams in life and not chasing what he wants because he feels that, well, other guys are lucky or I don't have all the breaks that everybody else has, then she feels that if there's ever a problem in the relationship or things get difficult, that he won't be a good provider for the children, and that he'll probably won't be able to open her up when she's really hurting because he's just simply not going to be strong enough and not going to have enough confidence in himself. So I've got an email here from a guy who's pretty cynical, jaded, and for the most part, he's jealous of the success of other people. And it's obvious. Let me just read the email to you. He says, yeah, and some of the biggest pricks I know. This was in response to one of the articles that I posted the other day about an alpha male and going for your dreams and why women are attracted to these kinds of men that are successful. So he says, I do not want a woman who finds these pricks attractive. If this is what it takes, I don't want no part of it. God, how I hate these business big mouth pricks. If that is what women are attracted to, screw that. I would rather be alone. That alpha male prick. God, I hate these pricks with a passion. Have a nice day. Chris. P.S. I still believe it's all predetermined. It's all about looks. And you may wish to add that in your next book. Or it can be summed up with one sentence. If you are not Brad Pitt, forget the woman of your dreams. The end. But have a nice day. Well, thanks for your email. What this basically tells me about your email is that you want to be successful. It's not that you hate these pricks that are rich and successful. You want to be one of those guys. You wish you were successful like they were. That whether it's a business that you want to start or a career you want to have, for whatever reason, you have, at least up until this point in your life, not taken the action that you know you need to take in order to create the circumstances where one day you can be living the life of your dreams. The bottom line is you're just sitting on the sidelines and you're not participating in life. You're not going after things, and you're using this story that things like, oh, it's guys that are good looking and like Brad Pitt, they're the ones that get pretty women, so I could never have that. I don't get any women because I'm not a business big mouth prick. And that's his excuse. And basically what this guy is doing is using these things. This is part of what we call his story that he uses to bullshit himself. And In other words, by saying these things to himself, he can make himself feel good and continue to lie that the success that he wants is out of his reach and it's all dependent upon things that are outside of his control. And the bottom line is, it's all up to you, dude. If you choose to be successful in life or unsuccessful, it's a conscious choice. If 10 years from now you're not where you want to be in life, it's going to be because you failed to take the action that you needed to take. The bottom line is, you must participate in your own rescue if you want to change your circumstances. It doesn't get any simpler or more complicated than that. So if you find these messages of value, you can show your appreciation by clicking on the PayPal donate button, which is at the bottom of the Wibbia toolbar. If you happen to be watching this video on my website, you can also share this article and page with all of your friends and family by clicking also on the Wibbia toolbar below, either Facebook, LinkedIn, or the Twitter share buttons. And if you have a question that you'd like to send that I can maybe consider to answer in one of these future video newsletters, just click the Contact tab, which is on the left-hand side of your screen, and give me several days or a week or so to get back to you with an answer. And I can't guarantee that I'm going to use all of it because I get more emails than I can write articles for, but I'll at least send you a response and send you in the right direction of where you need to go. And if you'd like to become one of my paying clients, you can click the Products tab at the top of your screen and just follow the instructions there to sign up for a phone coaching session with me personally. And I will talk to you soon.